Hello everybody. In this video I'm just gonna give you a bit of an update while I'm trying to finish my lion drawing. The deadline is in about 4 days, I believe, so I'm gonna try to finish it off today or tomorrow, and so I'll just work a bit on this while I'll give you an update about my work and how everything is going. In my last video on my Remrov's World of Autism page, you could a YouTube channel and Patreon channel, you could I talked about that I was moved to a different project at work, and that we would start the training for that. It was training for a whole month, and so I'm still doing the training for it, and it's been going pretty well actually. As you might know, we do the customer support for video game companies, so it's just been learning the video game and playing the video game a lot, which is of course very fun to play a video game and being paid for it. And but we also had a lot of other like courses about how to help customers and what kind of issues they might have, and to learn to work with the systems we have and everything like that. So, but it's been going fine. Met a lot of new nice people, and so that's all good. And they also say that this project is a bit less stressful, less intense, and so it might in general just be better. Now I work from 9 to 5 during the training for 4 weeks, and after that I can get back to my evening shifts. I prefer the evening shifts because when I work the evening shifts I have to start at 3, I have to leave my place at 2 in the afternoon, so then I have the morning to make videos and to draw, and so that works better for me than working from 9 to 5. But I've also noticed when you work from 9 to 5, it's so extremely crowded with the public transportation, and you're waiting in line everywhere to get on the escalators, and it's just a lot more chaotic. And yeah, I just noticed that it kind of wipes me out already before I even get to work. All that chaos, all those people, and so that's also a good thing about working the evening shifts. Around 2 o'clock it's not all that crowded with public transportation, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to get back to the evening shifts again. This is a lot better for me. So what I'm doing here, I finished the lion cub and the big lion. And what I'm doing now is they're standing on this rock formation, so I'm drawing that. I'm not even looking at the photo very much, I'm just making an indication of stone and rock, and with like a bit of dots, I guess, like this. It's gonna be pretty time consuming, I think, to do this whole part still. And I also have to do a bit of the background, but the background is going to be like really light, so that's not going to take me much time anymore. As you also know, I have a tennis elbow, I had a lot of pain on it. Yeah, I think they also call it a mouse elbow. And I had a lot of pain on it, but I started Celebrex about 2 weeks ago, I think, or 3 weeks. I'm not taking Celebrex anymore. It's not this painful anymore, but I have a lot of stiffness in my hand. My hand's like really stiff, and so to hold the pencil and to control the movements is like quite a task actually. And yeah, it's like you can compare it with walking outside when it's like really freezing and you walk without gloves, and then your hands, they get stiff, and so that's how it feels, that you can control your hands and your fingers, and well, that's how it feels actually. So especially with the smaller details, it's pretty difficult to get that done. So this all just feels a bit unnatural, honestly. During the training at work, I've also noticed, yeah, quite some autism related yeah, issues, difficulties. The same as what I used to have in school. When we like have a meeting and things are explained to us, then processing the information is always very difficult for me when like a teacher or a trainer or is like talking. For me to follow it is yeah, always pretty difficult. And I find it hard to explain. But when you're reading something, for example, you can like decide your own pace. You can go back a sentence if you didn't understand it, or I always explain it like this. For me, language it always comes pretty unnatural, and when I'm if you think of a story is actually just a bunch of words, and a sentence is a bunch of words, and for me, I have to listen to the whole sentence, and at first that sentence doesn't mean anything to me, or if I only hear half of the sentence, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's just a bunch of words, and then my brain afterwards, after hearing a sentence, has to put all those words together and to make something meaningful out of it, so that I understand what is said, and that process just takes longer, and of course by the time I understand a sentence, then the person already said 2 more sentences, so that's why listening to a person talking, it takes a lot out of me, and I don't always understand what a person is saying because of that. And so for me it always helps when somebody is like telling a story, to have something visual along with it, like a PowerPoint presentation that has the words on it as well, or the terms that are like most important, and yeah, that always helps a lot, because I'm like a really visual thinker. I'm an image thinker, and words have always been yeah, a difficult thing for me. And I also noticed that it took so much out of me that often I even started to doze off, and to yeah, even fall asleep, and that's not because I was not interested, but because it takes just so much out of me to follow a person talking. I also notice when I do this, actually, when I make a combination, when I'm drawing and I give an update. Many autistic people have difficulties with multitasking. We can only concentrate at one thing at once, and then you also notice then as soon as I start like talking that I automatically I stop drawing when when I do it at the same time. I can't find my words that easily, and I really start like talking more slow, and yeah, it takes me a lot longer to find the right words and that express what I want to say. I remember when I was in the Leo Kanner house. There was like a clinic, education center for autistic people especially, and once we had this music theater, and everybody was like doing something with music, like playing the piano or singing or doing a dance or some kind of a play with music in the background. And at one point we had to like sing a song all together, and we had to dance at the same time, and there was almost nobody who could actually do that, and I couldn't really do that either, like to focus on the singing and to do dancing at the same time. It was like, it's just that multitask issue that's yeah, singing and dancing at the same time. You're or singing or you're dancing, and to focus on both at the same time is just practically impossible. For this drawing I was provided with a photo, but I was only allowed to use it as a reference. I was not like, I wasn't supposed to draw it exactly as the photo, which was quite a challenge for me. I used a lot of other photos as well for the lion, like the tail was from one other lion, and I did the mane just practically a bit from like memory from other drawings that I made in the past of lions. And yeah, the legs I made different than the photo that was provided to me. So, yeah, it was a challenge. I mean, I've done it before that I used more than just one photo as a reference, but for this, yeah, I did a lot just not even looking at the photo at all, or not looking at any photo. And yeah, it was fun as well actually to try that and see how it comes out. An important thing with drawings like this is to know where the light is coming from and to be consistent where the shadow should be and where the lighting should be. I made the light source coming a bit from here, a bit straight, also not too far behind, because then of course here it would be a lot darker, and the legs would be a lot darker in that case. And you see it's all pretty, it's not like a real shadow part, so it's more like the lighting comes a bit from here. It's a bit lighter over here, also with the cup. And it's about one of the most important things that making realistic drawings is to know where your light source is, and to know where your shadows have to be, and the lighter parts. It's a big part of making what makes a drawing realistic, to have that contrast in it. So you know, I'm self-taught, so I've never really learned or had classes or anything like that, so I'm gonna still keep learning with every new drawing I make. You learn from making mistakes as well, obviously. Maybe even more from doing it correct. It's always good if you're working on a drawing and you don't know what is gonna look good, to just practice on a separate sheet, and then see what works best. Because I personally hate to use an eraser in a drawing. I have actually used an eraser in a drawing. With this one, you might even be able to see it in my previous in the photos that I've been posting. I had the mouth. The mouth is a lot different in in the older drawings, older photos that I posted, and it just didn't look good. At least in my opinion, I thought it looked pretty weird because the upper jaw was like way too big. So I erased it. I just took an eraser and I erased the whole mouth. It was pretty difficult because it was like really dark already, and it took me many times to like clean the eraser and then go into it again and keep cleaning it, because otherwise you get like extremely ugly smudges. And I drew the mouth a lot higher, and I just did it like not even looking at a photo, so it was actually a huge risk. Yeah, it was good that I did it, because it just looks a lot better now. It just wasn't looking correct before. I don't know why it is. The lion in the photo that I was looking at had like the head was in a different angle somehow, but it just didn't fit in my drawing. It looked really weird and unrealistic. So every now and then I do use a drawing, but it's an eraser, but it's really rare. Normally I don't erase in a drawing, because you damage the paper with it and you make ugly smudges, and it's not something you want to keep on doing, and definitely not on the same spot, since it will just damage your paper. So I think I'm gonna end my video here. I didn't do much, I didn't make a lot of progression, but I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have two. I'll post the links in the description below this video. Well, I wish you all a great day, and hope to see you with my next videos again. Bye!